Greetings, every peoples. This is your cult personality here, ToonKritic's name, and tune to the name of my game. And welcome to the return of the Roundtable reviews. We are doing these live for the people, by fans of fans, for your fans.
That didn't even make sense.
That's the point. Yes, I am ToonKritic, and it has been a long time since we've done a Roundtable review. Last one we did was like almost a year ago with Steven Universe, but here we have a show that just recently ended, and we figured, well, now's the time to talk about it. Gravity Falls. I'm not doing this alone, of course. I have with me here Keyframe.
Don't you mean? Oh no! I turned down the.
Yes.
Do.
Anyway, hello everyone. My name is Keyframe. I look at point A, point B, and everything in between. And
she tries and fails to do the memes.
And I am the meme lord.
No, you are totally not.
No, according to Tumblr, Pisces are meme lords. So I am the meme lord. Bow down and give me your dank. But
I don't know. I'm supreme meme.
Speaking of which, say hi to Nikki B.
Hi, I'm Nikki V. I'm the one who does the wrestling and...
Yeah, he's my Haymakers co-host, one of my Haymakers co-hosts. I think this is your first time being on a Roundtable review, I think.
It is.
Oh, all right then.
He's the one with the football butt.
It's my first time on here. Be gentle.
God, I should not be thinking that. Anyway, we also have returning Roundtable reviewer, Sweetie Bloom.
Hello, what's up, dudes?
I haven't had you on one of these since, what was it, Sword Art Online?
Unless Kingdom Hearts counted.
Yeah, that was Kingdom Hearts. Okay, never mind. Kingdom Hearts then. Alright, and we also have, also a returner, J Fox of Chaos.
What's up, Internet? I am J Fox of Chaos. Shit. And I can't get my openers correct, but who cares? Point is, we're talking about Gravity Falls, which we have all watched and enjoyed thoroughly, and I made it a point to bring in my favorite Grunkle Stan quote for the start of this review, which of course would be, "When life gives you lemons, call them yellow oranges and sell them for double the price."
Yeah.
So, yeah, warning right here, this is a full review of Gravity Falls from Season 1 to Season 2, just us talking about it, and yes, there will be spoilers, so we're just laying that out right here. If you've not seen Gravity Falls all the way through,
do it!
Just be warned of some stuff here.
Leave now, go watch the show, and come back.
Yeah.
Me and Sweetie Bloom are holding the doors. We are handing you a link to Kiss Cartoon. Go watch the show.
Be free, my children.
All right.
Be free.
For those of you that have Disney XD, DVR it. It's on all the time.
It's their rerun. It's their boomerang.
It's their what Avatar is to Nicktoons, Gravity Falls is to Disney XD.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we're going to get this started with going by, I'll just circle around here and we'll do favorite episode and favorite character, and then we'll get to what we like and what we didn't like, and that should nicely encapsulate all of Gravity Falls here. So let's kick things off with Keyframe, favorite episode and favorite character.
Favorite character is Mabel, because Mabel is me. Mabel is me. But my favorite episode has to be either it's a three-way tie between Pacific Northwest Manor, He's Not What It Seems, and the boy band episode.
All right. Sweetie Bloom, favorite character, favorite episode.
Similar to Miss Keyframe, I'm gonna have to say Mabel, not because she's me, but because I can admire a lot of her qualities. Her honesty, her almost innocence, and yet she's got a kind of worldly attitude about her, and her just, I don't know, she's just an amazing, admirable character, and even Bill is afraid of her. The favorite episode has got to be Not What He Seems, because it's the only episode that, if I were to watch it again, I might cry. It was just a beautiful episode to see Mabel fully trust Grunkle Stan. Was just heart-wrenching.
Oh, so good.
Fair point. Fair point.
All right, Nikki V, favorite episode, favorite character.
All right, favorite character would probably be Seuss, just because he just has such a like. Well, yeah, he's basically Jesus, but but no, he's just in all these situations. Like you look at him and he's like, oh, this guy's not going to be of any use. He's a big old idiot, but he always like comes up with these unique ways to make it. Like he's kind of like this show's Pinkie Pie. Like
Really? I thought Mabel was more of the Pinkie Pie.
You could argue it's Mabel, but like.
I view Seuss more
gets
as like an Applejack kind of thing,
Yeah,
like
it's-
apple pie.
Yeah.
Well, I like Applejack too, so that also works. But yeah, and my favorite episodes. See here, the Time Traveler's Pig was a really good one. Seuss and the Real Girl. Like
Oh, that one was creepy.
That was
that was
really
creepy
odd.
and like great. I
Yeah.
love that
Yeah.
episode. Let's see here. Society of the Blind Eye was good. Northwest Mansion Noir or whatever it was called. Like it had like
Yeah.
2 or 3 names too.
that
was
episode.
Yeah.
and basically all of Weirdmageddon. Like all of that stuff was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Weirdmageddon really pushed the envelope for how dark and creepy the series could get.
Yeah, because at that point Alex was like, "What are they gonna do? Fire me? I'm out the door already."
Might as well go out with a bang.
Yeah. Just imagine Alex Hirsch walking out. It's like, here's the episode. Da 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 da.
What do you mean you want like 300 re-edits, can't?
No, the scripts need to be cleared by Disney.
Nah.
which is why what's funny is because my friend, it's funny you bring up the Real Girl, because that was the first episode that my friend was the storyboard artist for, and of course we berate her about the show, and we're like, okay, truth time, the cops, are they gay? They're written gay. They are written gay. Alex writes them gay, and very often he'll turn in the scripts and he'll come back from Disney going, too gay, tone it down.
And then at the end,
yet the way
they just
came
stand in front of a
out-
cannon.
I love that so much. Oh my god.
Yeah. So,
Meanwhile,
Like
Steven
that.
Universe, make it more gay.
Gayer.
what about you, Jay? Favorite character and favorite episodes?
I gotta say that my favorite episode definitely has to be Dungeons, Dungeons, and More Dungeons.
Oh, I love that episode.
Partly because A, Weird Al Yankovic, but second also because like I've kind of been in that situation a lot where it's like, hey, I've got this really cool thing I want to try. Do you guys want it? No, but you haven't even. Oh, okay. I guess just go do this myself then.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Yeah, and favorite character definitely has to be Old Man McGucket because the way that he shows up in like. I think it's only in the second episode, his first appearance, you could just completely write him off as this useless side character, and then he ends up being the most important guy in the series.
That's how you do a comedic relief character, right? You lure people in and then you spin them right around.
He's not what he
did.
seems. Oh!
He did say Scrapdoodle.
Yeah.
Well, for me, Dipper is my favorite character. He was the one that kind of drew me in. I really did not like Mabel when I first started watching.
A pox on you.
I just...
For me.
It's just Mabel really, really annoyed me, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to deal with you throughout all this, aren't I? Okay, well, all right, let's buck her down. But then I think by the end of season 1, I'm just like, you know what, I can get behind you. Finally, it took a while, but you grew on me. You were that persistent. But Dipper is my favorite. I love that he's kind of like the straight man. He's trying to figure out all this stuff. He's growing up like bit by bit and seeing all this crazy stuff happen. And he's always like the paranoid one. He's just like, I know there's something wrong here. Why is nobody listening to me? Like, he plays that guy.
It's like if you gave Courage the Cowardly Dog an actual voice.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just like he has the journal, and he's just like, why does nobody see this, guys? Really, he's like the realist there, and I love that.
Look at the book.
I actually just want to say real quick, springboarding off of that, my favorite moment of Mabel's absurdity and Dipper's realism is actually in Irrational Treasure, which she folds the map into a hat, which has the exact location on it. He was like, you figured it out, and I was gonna burn it.
Whoops.
That was awesome.
Also, since we might not get a chance to talk about it, in the similar vein to how J Fox likes Old Man McGucket, one of my favorite characters in the series that nobody ever talks about is Toby Determined. Like the weird
which I
little
only
guy.
recently learned the pun in his name. I know, I feel bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is called Death Ball.
To be fair, like, you have no idea how long it took me to get like Miles Prower, Tails' real name.
Seriously, how did you not get that right away?
I don't know. I was looking at it and I was like, Miles Prower, is that like?
Oh.
I was in college by the time that happened.
It felt like one of those moments where you're just sitting there and you finally realize it, and you just push all the papers off your desk, being like, "What?"
When I found out, I immediately ran into like the living room of the apartment I was in and told my roommate, "Dude, do you know about Tails' real name?" And he was just like, "Yeah, Miles Prower." I'm like, "Shut up."
Getting back though,
Zach?
Yeah, my favorite episode is actually the Gulf War. I loved that episode. If anything, though, I saw the GIF on the episode. I think it was on Tumblr. I saw the GIF of it where it's like the big strong golf balls. Like he slowly fucking dies, and he's like, "Hey, I wonder what's like. I wonder what really goes on when the ball goes down the hole." And it just makes this old big dramatic thing, and it just pops right back up. I'm just like, I know how that feels. I used to come up with ideas like that when I did mini golfing too. No, I love that episode too because it was a good Mabel Pacifica episode, and it was just a really funny
taco.
Yeah, it was just a really creative episode too.
Yeah.
All right, so now we come to this may be the bulk of this review, what we liked and what we didn't like. So what we like, starting with Sweetie Bloom.
Everything.
The end.
Okay, but if you had to be
The end.
specific.
We're done. Okay.
Pick like one or two things so we can at least make it fair for everyone.
Well, of course, the humor in it is fantastic, but then so is the drama, and I love the dichotomy of the two. And because for me, the greatest humor for me is character humor, and just sort of the characters being themselves and that being funny. And this show is just riddled with it. And especially in the character of Mabel and Seuss, you know, they're just being themselves, and there's no shame in it, and I love it so much. And yet there's also the mystery of it. It's not just a ridiculous show for ridiculous sake. There's also a structure and like a mystery element to it, and there's just so much that's just built into the show. I love it.
Yeah, there's all like the conspiracies up on Tumblr and the big mystery that goes throughout it. It's a really unique thing about the show. Keyframe, what do you like about Gravity Falls?
Well, you know, I love the humor and everything. But one thing I like about the show, and it's a small detail, but it's something that I respect with a lot of shows, especially like this show and We Bare Bears and stuff, is that it's able to incorporate modern things without it feeling out of place, and it still feels timeless. Like, it's very hard to do that because you watch something like What's New Scooby-Doo, and it's like, oh, they are trying. They are trying to incorporate the technology and be modern. But then you see like Gravity Falls, and it's like when they had those like internet shorts, and it has like Seuss doing his souping things up, and he has like the JPEG things of the lightning and sound effects and stuff that he did post editing, and when they did a parody of the "One does not just walk into Mordor" meme and stuff, and it's just like it just feels real. Like it doesn't feel forced, and I just really like that because it's very hard to do and still feel timeless, and I like that they have a good attention to detail.
All right, Nikki.
And to,
Oh wait, hang on. Sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, no, I was just to add to that. The one thing I really like in the timeless aspect is a lot of the references they make aren't modern. That they're more 80s and 90s, like the boy band and stuff like that. That they're sort of older references, and yet at the same time, it feels timeless.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, Nikki.
I really like it when shows are able to bring things full circle and like make all the little things that like popped up in the beginning of the series that you thought, that's not going to come into play, and find a way to make that make perfect sense. Like the thing with Old Man McGucket and how he was just, a comedy goofy like mad scientist guy, and then in the end he's just like, oh wait, he's responsible for almost everything. And also on top of that, like the voice acting, like not just from like the main characters, like you had some like Ritter something, not John Ritter because he's dead, but someone.
I mean, the show has enough. I mean, they could have hired a ghost.
You know what? I didn't think of that. Jason Ritter, that's what it was.
Written by the ghost of John Ritter.
Yeah, Christian Shaw is amazing as Mabel. Alex Hirsch voices like half the cast, and every character that he voices is unique and like memorable. Linda Cardellini as Wendy, like she was actually Velma.
Really? In the live action Scooby-Doo. Yes.
Yeah. J.K. Simmons, because he's in fucking everything.
Yes.
Our favorite mayor of Anthrotown.
Our favorite demander of pictures of Spider-Man.
I like how we went into different directions in there.
and on top of Marvel, there's a bunch of big names that are in like tiny roles that you wouldn't expect. Like Will Forte's in this.
Oh yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's Tyler Cutebiker. Let's see here. Nathan Fillion's in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I'm looking.
And then of course they got Weird Al. They got Weird Al for an episode.
Yeah.
I love.
and like the random one-offs, like freaking Patton Oswalt as the gnomes, Larry fucking King as himself.
No, as his wax self.
Hi, I'm Larry King.
Wax
Somebody
Larry
find
King.
the rest of my body, please. Let's talk to Janine in Sheboygan.
Let me remind you that I am Jewish. But oh yeah, and also the voice of Flapjack as little Gideon is amazing.
Which is also really creepy when you see what he really looks like.
I know, right?
All right. Is that it?
No. Make things work full circle in the voice acting.
Okay.
Oh.
Jay, what do you like about Gravity Falls?
Okay, number one, definitely the mystery, because it's amazing how all of this stuff, as like everybody else said, does come full circle. How all the small details that you'll just write off as just a quick joke or a background little gimmick, it ends up coming back in ways that you probably wouldn't even see coming. Like in the first episode, Mabel just gets a grappling hook, and it ends up becoming the most useful tool in her arsenal.
Right.
And then, oh my god, yes. And then I also really got to give credit where it's due, is that the character work is some of the strongest that I've ever seen in a lot of shows, not just a lot of modern shows too. Like, full disclosure, the first 2 times I watched Weird Mageddon Part 3, I almost cried in the last 15 minutes, both times.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt so good to see, like, everything comes together, everybody worked so hard, and they're all, really getting what they put in out of it, and it just felt so rewarding.
Yeah.
So, super excited, super excited.
I think we can all agree, like, the mystery is, like, one of the best things about it. How you can just rewatch episodes, pick up clues, see the after credit stuff with, like the one big thing is, like, at the end of the credits, they show, like, a piece of, like, this big scroll that they're making or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, that has the 2 Pine twins and everything.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that at first. Like, I spotted it flashing every now and then. I think halfway through, what was it? I think either season 1 or 2. It could have been... I think
Yeah,
It
and
was
then they
definitely
also
one of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they also have the cipher where you have to decipher the numbers to the letters and stuff. Which, by the way, the cipher that was at the end of the finale, where it says like, I forgot what it was, but it was so sweet that I was just like, oh, thank you, Hirsch.
No, it really likes having its fan base like try and pick up the mystery and whatnot. And when people figure it out, it feels like you accomplish something by figuring like everything out in the end.
It's like the stuff with Steven Universe where it's like, wait, why does she have 2 gems? She must be a fusion. And then the season 1 finale, it's like, we were right.
Oh, lovely headcanon.
What, Detectives has a twin? Dude, I predicted that like several episodes ago.
Yes, I loved when they did that. I just burst out
That's
laughing.
the twist we were all waiting for.
The show was self-aware of its fan base.
Well, not only that, but also even in that same episode when Ford is talking about, why do you guys even like Detective? It's a kid show. Hey, there's a mystery element to it that even adults can get into.
And then I think they're like, yeah, it's okay. Well, the theme song's the best part anyway. And right before the theme song
Yeah.
comes up.
Yeah, that's one thing. One of the big things that I love. I love the theme song for it. It is easily one of the most catchiest songs that Disney's put out in the modern era.
To it.
Yeah,
it's so amazing that something that's an instrumental theme, which is very far and in between nowadays, is so memorable.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the most memorable like TV themes for Disney in the modern era.
If I didn't think my mic would kill it, I would be whistling it right now.
But like, I showed Lauren the series because she'd never heard of it when it first came out, and I showed her the theme sequence, and she's like, "Damn, that's smooth." Because that's totally what Lauren sounds like.
Smooth like butter.
No, the one big thing that I love though about this series is its creativity. It's when you walk into an episode and you expect something, but it goes completely the other way, and you're thinking that's a really creative idea. Like I can remember what was it? I think during the Bottomless Pit episode where they have like the 3 mini shorts and they have the pinball like thing. I thought that was really cool how they did that. They put twists on all the monster and mystery things, and it's very, like I said, it's very creative how they're able to do that. And the writing is where the series shines the most. It doesn't feel like it's just pandering to a younger audience. It feels like more of a show that, like, it doesn't pander to the adults, but it doesn't pander to the kids either. It's its own thing.
Yeah, and like, they have such great details. Like, you could tell how much care went into it. Like, when you usually see pages of books and stuff, anything that's not the main thing, it's scribbles or it's random text. But when you look through that book and you see freeze frames of the books where they have, like, hipster vampires and everything, it's just like...
The leprechaunacorn.
The leprechaunacorn. It's like... whoever made those pages, whether it be the storyboard artists, the cleanup people, the writers, or whatever were like, put this on the page. They are some of the most creative people, and it shines so much. Like, the show looks great too.
The other thing, though, that I think really complements the writing, and I get a really big vibe from this, who here, like, watches Homestar Runner?
I do.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the voice actors for Homestar Runner were on it too. Like,
Matt Chapman.
they wrote some of the episodes.
And that's why it feels so, but it's like Homestar Runner at some points, like to the dialogue, like with Seuss and like with Dipper and Mabel. It feels like, it really does feel like I get a bit of a Homestar Runner vibe, and everybody's complaining, where'd Homestar Runner go? I'm like, Gravity Falls.
And
so
2 more eggs.
Yeah.
I've never actually watched Homestar Runner.
What?
Well, a pox.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna flood you with links after this review's over.
But it's just like, I find it's like, it's also one of those things where you're just like, yes, people from the internet can come to television. And it's just like,
I don't want to.
It makes you feel so good.
Yeah.
I don't want to take this off topic, but I just want to put in my favorite Seuss line now that we're on the topic of it. It was actually during I forget what the name of the episode was, but it was the episode with the Gobblewonker.
Mm-hmm.
The Legend of the Gobblewonker.
Legend of the Gobblewonker, thank you. Okay, think. What's the #1 problem with all monster hunts? If you're a side character, you die in the first 5 minutes. Dude, am I a side character? Do people think about this kind of thing?
I love that. I love that too. And also, it's like, the show, like we said before, the show balances drama and comedy so well, and horror. Like, sometimes some moments are legitimately creepy, but then it's like,
Northwest Family,
it's like,
cough.
Oh yeah, there's stuff that will make that there's something for everyone. Like, there's episodes that you can laugh at, episodes that you can cry at, episodes you get scared at, some all in one episode.
Yeah.
And it's like one moment they could be having an existential crisis. The next moment, well, who wants a lammy? I do.
Would it be a new low if I ate this? I'm just kidding. I'm totally eating this.
I want to get Zach a Lammy costume and have him sing that.
Hell no. That's not happening.
Isaac's watching this, draw Toon's character in that Lammy costume that Dipper wore.
Yes, please.
Do it, potato.
Do it,
oh,
potato.
God, that'll...
We will give you a shiny potato if you put Zach in a Lammy outfit.
Oh, good times.
Oh, that's silly.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Personally, for me, my favorite personal or individual line in the series was when Mabel was tripping balls on Fun Dip. And she was just like, the future is in the past. Onward, Hiroshima!
And then it just makes car alarm noises.
I think the best moment from the Fun Dip thing is just her with her mouth open with the wide eyes sitting in the market, and there's just white noise in the background. It looks like she's biting something, but it's not.
Was that you, Key, at an early age when you discovered that?
How many of those did you eat? 11.
Sugar is that was me when I ever had too much sugar. I would just be lying in a comatose state, just being like, Halloween is over.
What do you mean Halloween is
was one of the best Halloween specials, and it didn't even take place on Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
pretty
ate
creepy.
someone
I
alive
guess I'm
today.
still eating.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember, because they were like, oh, we enjoy Halloween so much we celebrate it twice a year. Stan, why do you always carry that calendar in your car? Yes.
But what about so we've been talking about the things we like.
Oh, there was one more thing. The one last thing I want to say. I love the sibling dynamic, especially with Mabel and Dipper and Grunkle Stan and Stanford. Like, when Stanford gets introduced into the series, it changes everything. It adds all these new, like, elements, developments, and it mirrors onto Dipper and Mabel, and it makes it look so good. And it makes it feel natural, too, the dialogue between them.
That's the other thing I was going to say. It doesn't just... He's not just there to fill out the cast and create new, weird situations. Like, if it was, like, in... I don't know, Fairly Odd Parents or something, and they just add a new character because, oh shit, we're running out of stuff for our current characters. Like, his introduction into the series feels totally normal and in place, and it feels right.
Yeah.
And yeah, the sibling interaction is really realistic, because a lot of times when you have sibling in media, they're either like besties or they're enemies. And what I like about Gravity Falls, especially in Dipper and Mabel, is that in reality siblings are both and neither.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
They can be the best of friends, but they can also be at opposing ends, and they can sort of have different views, and they can work together or not. You know, it's. I really do feel like they have a very realistic bond as brother and sister.
Hey, Key.
Yes?
Mhm.
Awkward sibling hug.
Awkward sibling hug.
Pat.
No,
Pat.
don't do that!
Oh no, Keyrip says if like when we meet up again for like Nightmare Nights, like we're totally gonna film that.
It's like, Toon, Key, awkward sibling hug, awkward sibling hug.
Pat.
Pat.
But yeah, you were starting to say, Key, that like what we don't like about the series, and that's a pretty thin list.
It's a short list, but there's stuff on there, and it would just be wrong to ignore it. So
All right.
let's start with Claire.
Okay.
Nothing.
The end. Okay.
Nothing. It's like, what do you like? Everything. What do you hate? Nothing. Yay!
That pretty much sums it up. No, if I had to pick something, ironically, I do feel like the show either shouldn't have gone on as long as it did, or it should have been thought through more. Because as much as I love the continuity and then bringing things in, there's some things that do seem rushed in trying to tie things in.
Right.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the pre-show.
Yeah, like for instance, basically like, you know, Pacifica's the llama because sweater, you know, stuff like that. It's like some things are like super awesome because they're foreshadowed way ahead of time, and some things are like, what? Or don't make sense. One thing I remember, I did a rewatch of season 1 before season 2, and I was like, wait, McGucket had a son? What the hell happened to his son? Like, we don't see him for the rest of the show.
Yeah,
But
we
he has
saw
a
him
son.
once.
That in his first episode, he was really convinced, really, invested in being part of his life, and then we never see the son again.
Yeah, for a show that wants you to examine everything very closely, that means you get to see every small little plot hole that's there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, Key.
I would have to say mine is kind of a continuation of Claire's. Like, I like so much stuff about the show, but you can count this as a criticism towards Disney for extending it when Alex didn't want to, or the team having to rush. Like, it's there's no innocent party, but it's just like I liked what they were going for, but I feel like with what they had to do, they could have done maybe one more episode about Robbie, maybe one more about Pacifica, like something that could fit that big circle. But then again, it's like, they weren't planning to make something bigger out of that. But I think the only other thing that I guess that that it kind of rubbed me the wrong way was whenever something happened, and there wasn't a lot of filler episodes in the show, but the episodes that were filler and they didn't amount to anything in the end, and it didn't bring character development. I guess in season 2, those episodes were more far between, but whenever they happened, they felt really jarring. And I'm not a hater of filler episodes, as long as there's something that happens, or it's a showing of someone's best traits or something. Like, I like the horror movie club episode of Steven Universe when a lot of people don't like it, and it's just like this in a story-driven show like this, you kind of need this. You kind of need either do what Avatar did and have the humorous episode right before something big's about to happen, or make it more dedicated to this, because you don't have a lot of episodes to drive your point home of what you're going to do in the finale, which, great finale.
Yeah.
I wish Waddles was one of the people in the circle, though. I'd rather have Waddles in the circle than Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, you talked about filler episodes. I enjoy them only when there's like a point to it, I think, because I'm not a fan of like filler episodes that are just there. We did a thing. Next episode. Wait, what? We're just going to skip over. Okay. But Gravity Falls manages to do that, and you at least get like something out of it that'll progress forward. So.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's mine. Yeah, that's mine.
Jay.
God, this is kind of still on topic, but also, ironically, like how I said, a lot of the character work was my favorite thing. It also leads to some of my least favorite things about Gravity Falls is that, like, there are some characters that, like, became such key points of the series that I don't really feel like they got proper closure or really advanced in any way. Like, when we're basically getting the epilogue and we see what becomes of, like, Gideon and Pacifica, I don't really feel like they learned anything or even
Yeah, because
changed at
Gideon
all.
was still beating people up at the end.
Gideon was still. I mean, I'm glad that he's still friends with Ghost Eyes, but it feels like, Gideon. You could have done a lot more with him. He could have actually followed through with that partnership with the Mystery Shack. They could have had like a show going. And Pacifica, I mean, like, yeah, during Northwest Mansion Noir, we were getting that feel that she was kind of like, really coming into her own and learning to be, a little bit more humble and not such a show-offy little, well,
Yeah.
But it's like with the whole thing of
then-
like you're only going to have one pony in the Zoom, and it's like, but huh?
Yeah, and it's like we literally just established in Northwest Manor Noir that she would like totally be okay being a normal girl, and then doing this, it feels like she didn't learn anything. So, I mean, I guess I can't totally fault it because they did have to bring everything to a close on such a limited amount of episodes, but
Right.
at the same time, I really just kind of wish that when we were developing all these characters that they all kind of had their own real ending written out for them, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would have preferred it if Pacifica what if Pacifica had to move into Seuss's old place?
Oh,
Because-
God.
Because Seuss and his mom moved. By the way, Seuss's mom is great, but
That's
Seuss-
actually his
grandmother.
grandmother.
yeah, grandmother. But they moved into the Mystery Shack, so like seeing them downgrade and like Pacifica's parents and everything, like wear normal clothes and stuff and actually be happy just being a family. That would have been cool.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been better than just them crying. I mean, they did lose their house, so yeah.
I mean,
I would
yeah.
have cried too. But still, it's just like you're only going to have one pony. It's like, oh, come on.
Doesn't McGucket get the house in the end, or?
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm unpacked.
It was a nice looking manor too.
It was.
Yeah.
All right, Nikki.
I never liked Gideon.
Neither did I.
Like from the
Not
beginning.
even a little bit.
Like even as a villain. Don't even try with the eyes. I'm dead inside. That's not gonna work. But like it, even as a villain, like there's some like you love Bill. You love
Bill's the
Well,
villain we love to hate. Gideon's the
Yeah.
villain we hate to hate.
Yeah, exactly. He just felt like he was never a real huge threat, I guess, because like he got dismantled so quickly in the series, and
Until
like
we got the giant robot.
But that's
Yeah.
what's fun about it.
Hello?
Is like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh sorry, like you were kind of quiet.
No,
I
go
could
ahead,
tell.
Claire. I actually want to hear this.
Okay. Well, it's like if he would have at least come away from the hand that rocks the Mabel with like something good going for him, then it would have been one thing. But he just got his shit pushed in that episode, and by the end, like yeah, every so often he would occasionally make Grunkle Stan look bad, like at the water or at the swimming pool or at the old timey fair, but like he just got destroyed so early on that like when he came back at the giant robot, it was just like
I'll be back in a moment.
okay, but yeah, when he came back with the giant robot, it was just like okay, like it feels like I should be more worried, but it just never happened.
I should think about this, but giant robot.
There was a lot of mecha battles in this show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked Gideon. I don't know, something about him I just enjoyed. I wish his ending was a little bit better, but I don't know. I really liked him after Weird Mageddon and stuff. Like, I don't know. I always just enjoyed Gideon. The Whittle Old Me song got stuck in my head for a week and a half.
I could see that.
The show didn't have a lot of songs, but what they had were earworms.
What I like about Gideon is that I hate him. Because, like, I remember his first appearance. Just being, like, before we kind of find out that he's a villain, I'm like, oh my gosh, this character irritates the ever-living out of me. Please don't make him a constant thing, you know? And then when we find out he's a villain and gets his butt handed to him, it was so gratifying. And that's how I feel every episode Gideon's in. I don't find him a threat. I find him a punching bag, and it is glorious. He's irritating, and we can just see him just get his comeuppance, and it is lovely. He's not really on the same level as Bill.
But at the same time, he was still presented as the biggest threat in season, or for the most part of season 1. Like, there really wasn't any other big villains until, like, the very end when Bill showed up.
Right.
Like, so, like, for him to be the biggest threat and for him to just fall so hard so fast that it just kind of took a lot of the tension out of a lot of things.
I like to think that Bill Cipher is to Discord as Gideon is to Trixie.
You know what? That's fair.
Exactly.
You got to see Gideon as more of a gateway villain.
Did anyone ever see those theories people had on YouTube saying that Gideon was a vampire?
Seriously?
Yes, because he has 5 fingers.
Yeah, he has five fingers, and when they went back in time, he had all of his hair still, even though, like, this would be if he was an infant and stuff, and it's like, huh.
Well, I mean, you guys know what one of the original ideas they were going to do with his hair was, right?
What?
That it was fake?
No. Okay, if you watch Between the Pines, which is the Gravity Falls behind-the-scenes special, Alex Hirsch actually says that at one point, they were toying with this idea of also making Gideon a set of twins, but like a weird conjoined twin issue.
Oh, like
Siamese.
Siamese.
He keeps his second one like underneath his massive hair out of sight.
Oh god,
that would have been
Of course,
cool.
they didn't go with it, but
that would have been terrifying.
yeah. So
Well,
obviously
yeah,
they
you want
didn't
me
go
to
with
get
it, but
interested in-
that was just an idea that they had early on.
Yeah, you want me to get interested in Gideon? Give him a creepy little, the weird guy from Total Recall.
Oh god, I imagine him moving his hair and brushing his hair, and it just moves in. It's this wrinkly little thing. It's like,
He's like, get back in
I'm
there.
picturing like a Voldemort thing from Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
Also works.
What about you, Zach? What is your least favorite thing about the show?
Gotta say it.
Wait, say what?
Gotta have something.
Well, there's nitpicks here and there. There's characters that I don't really like and feel that they're kind of like a waste of space. Like, I don't like Robbie, like, at all. I feel he really brings nothing to the show that means anything other than, I guess, like, the whole Wendy and Dipper thing. I did not like at all because it just felt to me like another Spike rarity. Like, it's never going to happen.
At least they made it clear.
And that was what was beautiful.
Yes, but the good thing about that though is that you're right. They did resolve it, and they just kind of just put their foot down on it, just saying no, not gonna happen. Move on. And unlike with other things where they just kind of keep dragging it along, like I see this with the new TMNT series with April and Donatello, and I think they threw Casey Jones in there, like that little spiel, whatever they have going on. I'm trying to think what else I did not like. I think near the end, I did not like the bickering between Grunkle and Stanford, because it just got to the point where just like, dude, really, the world is about to end, and you're still being like pissy and whatnot. Like, come on.
That
made
Stan
really
sacrificing himself so good.
To be fair, who the fuck would start like fixing other people's grammar in the middle of the apocalypse? He had
in the middle of the apocalypse. Now is
Yeah.
not
Also,
the
I
time
want to point out
for
that both of them were wrong.
Yeah,
They
but I'm
were,
just
but
saying.
I expect more of Ford. That's my thing.
I feel like that's something that. Okay, weird tangent, but it's like if this was replaced with Twilight Sparkle and Shining Armor, Twilight would have corrected Shining Armor's grammar, and I want to see a comic of that right now.
Yeah, and I also
Yeah,
want to point
you know
out
what?
that even
Yes.
sorry.
No, I was just saying.
I just real quick want to point out that even when he did correct him on his grammar, he was also wrong. So consider that.
But yeah, the finale.
It had some. I had some problems with it, but no, I think the biggest problem that I have with this series is that the inconsistency of the episode releases.
That's more
when
of the
you
fault
have
of the network.
I know, but for like
No.
maybe this is a small thing, but it's just like imagine if you're a fan of this series and you have to keep taking breaks like every 3 or 6 months. It throws off the flow of everything when you're just kind of like sitting there waiting, and all the hype starts to build up, and it can either like disappoint you or just get you so hyped you overhype.
Steven Bobs.
Actually, it wasn't the network. Alex Hirsch and the writing team and the storyboard artists, they were really behind. The reason it kept getting pushed back is because they weren't done yet.
Not to mention that.
I knew about the mid-season, year-long hiatus long before season 2. Like before season 2 came up, my friend told me that in the middle of the season there was going to be a year-long hiatus. Right after, and she said there was going to be a character that was revealed in the middle of the season, and then there was going to be a year, and then the rest of the season was going to come up, and then it was even longer from that because they weren't done. They weren't done with the show.
That and Alex Hirsch was like completely burned out after the first season. He just couldn't keep doing it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like put symbolism as to why Alex did the voices of so many characters. And it's like, no, the reason why he does the voices of so many characters is because they're usually so freaking behind, he doesn't have time to find a voice actor, so he just does it himself.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's from a fan perspective who watched the show and has been like following the show and having to wait. Like that can easily be fixed by like, hey, you want to see all the episodes? They're all up online. You can binge watch all of them. But I think it's that stress for a fan when it was airing to have to sit for like a year, 6 months, like around that time just to get to like the end. Like
and I'll at least say this: the time that they spent to get it done, you can obviously see all the work they did. At least they have a reason. I'm looking at you, Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
Your episodes are done. We saw the clips.
No, it's when I think of Gravity Falls, I think to nicely wrap all this up, I think in the end it was probably the best idea that they chose to end it because they brought up a point where if the show kept going and going and going and going, like what would be the point? Like you see shows like I guess SpongeBob and The Simpsons and South Park and Family Guy.
Even good shows like Phineas and Ferb, like the whole thing was it was supposed to last one summer.
And yet it's going on forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, like they even start joking about it in the episode or in those episodes of Phineas and Ferb. Like, is it just me or has this summer gone or taken like 4 years to go by? And it's just like, and Gravity Falls or Alex Hirsch particularly, I respect the hell out of him for putting his foot down and saying no more.
Because you could have continued it from there. There was more than enough material to keep it going and going and going. But it would have been best had they just, nipped it in the butt before it became even bigger than it was supposed to. And that's as disappointing as it is to some people. It is for the best because what we have here, we have closure. And to be fair, not a lot of shows that we grow up with got closure.
No.
Right. They either got canceled before their time or
cliffhangered.
I'm looking at you, Sonic
Or they're
Sat
still
AM.
going.
I'm looking at you, Symbiotic Titan.
I'm looking at you,
Samurai Jack.
I'm looking at you, Power Rangers RPM.
We all have one that we're
there's that one show for
At
us.
least Samurai Jack's
There's that
coming
one
back
show
and
that just got cut off way too soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Samurai
Look
Jack.
at you, Clone High.
At least Samurai Jack got 4 seasons. Symbiotic Titan had 1.
Clone High had 13 episodes.
Really?
Yes, and the thing is that they ended their season on such a cliffhanger, like they were all frozen, and it's just like, So the next season they would be melted, and there would be new clones and stuff, and all this stuff. No, just canceled. Went off to do the Lego movie. We want more Clone High.
No, it's another thing. It's kind of like what they did with the Drawn Together. They just kind of ended it, like, abruptly. Just like, nope, it's
just
dead.
Saying the show kind of did not get good as it went on.
That's true.
It had a really bad third season.
Anyway, though, Gravity Falls overall has to be one of Disney's strongest shows. A show that, like, fans got behind and are still into to this day. And it's probably going to be, like, legendary, like, in about, like, 5 or 10 years from now. It'll be considered a classic by now. It's a recognizable series that mixes drama, comedy, mystery, action, and horror beautifully. And I don't think there's going to be another show like Gravity Falls.
It's the modern day Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like,
Yeah.
Game of the year. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Couple of
If it means that it's the modern day Courage the Cowardly Dog, then Alex Hirsch is never going to get work again. Because
Oh,
John
no,
L.
it'll get work.
Dearwolf has said that he's pitched so many series, and it's like everyone's like, it's too scary. It's like,
Gravity Falls.
Alex Hirsch, I wish you the best.
well, that's the thing though. He already is lining up something with Fox. Like he said back in. Yeah, he already said. Well, yeah, take that for what you will. But he already said in, I believe it was January, that he has something big planned with them. So, like,
I want him to go write an episode of Rick and Morty. That would be the best day of my life.
Oh yeah.
It would be. But
Well,
anyway.
seeing as how Justin Roiland appeared in Gravity Falls, and I think that Alex Hirsch voiced a character in Rick and Morty, that would make the most sense.
Yeah. But this show is awesome, and we're glad that it got ended.
We're glad that we at least got to the end of this trip, because it was one hell of a trip. So, I think that nicely...
Before we go, I got one question.
What?
Name one show that is still on the air that you would love to see a one-off crossover with Gravity Falls.
Rick and Morty.
Steven Universe and Rick and Morty.
Yep, those two. No, honestly,
I would go with Star versus Forces of Evil.
Star is actually more doable because they're on the same network, so...
Yeah, but just
Perfect.
saying.
Make it happen.
Dimensional
Just saying.
Scissors.
Yeah, just saying.
Mhm.
Mabel in San Francisco in the We Bare Bears universe. Do you know how happy she would be?
Oh, no.
Bears!
Oh, no. Key.
Yeah.
Mabel and Steven. 10 out of 10.
Oh dear
10 out of
God,
10.
no.
Yeah.
I don't even watch that show enough, and I know a wormhole would be created if they made eye contact.
Connie would be like, "Excuse me."
Just like, back off, bitch. That's my man.
It would be the most gaudy fusion if Mabel and Steven fused together. There's just stars and rainbows everywhere.
Mabel would be freaking out, and Dipper would be like, "Oh my God, what'd you do to my sister?"
Actually, at that point, once the
weapon
fusion
would be a
happens,
grappling hook.
everybody would freak out, except Dipper would be looking at it, and Connie would be like, "Why aren't you freaking out?" Dipper just looks at her, is like, we've had the weirdest summer yet.
It'd be like
This
that.
isn't like this isn't even in the top 5.
This is, yeah, with the summer we've had, this is like just another Tuesday.
Yeah, it'd be like that short from Ponies the Anthology where they have the Seabreeze going into the Steven Universe thing, not Gravity Falls. It's like, Dipper, look, a fairy! Squish!
Oh, jeez, dude, I totally killed that fairy.
What do you think, though, Claire? Like, what crossover do you think would work with Gravity Falls?
Oh, I don't know. I honestly, I think Gravity Falls and maybe Adventure Time would be an interesting crossover. But yeah, I don't know.
I could see that. No, I still
I
think...
like how none of us said My Little Pony.
Because that's the obvious answer.
And besides, we already had that in one of the episodes.
The last
It
Mabel
meant
Corn.
well.
Not to mention,
Prove that
it
unicorns
kind
are
of-
assholes.
Not to mention, when you really think about it, wouldn't really work.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be freaked out over it, but you're just like, yeah, this happens.
Dipper would
Talking
totally be
ponies.
a closet
No,
pony.
the only reason I say that is because like look at the picture that's on the screen when we put this on YouTube. Like we're all pones.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah.
I like how we're all facing the same way too. It's like, yeah.
I wanted to like have like one of you just face like the other way just to throw it off. I was tempted to do that to like Keyframe's icon, just have her facing the other way.
No, I'd be upside down. But it's like, but okay, one question for the end. Favorite line from the show? Because mine is definitely, my mother was right. I am the perfect man.
Oh, I'm trying. I remember one. It's just like, hey, do you kids want to get some blindfolds and get in my car?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Or no, here, follow me out into this deep dark alley.
That was good. For me, it was the one from the Claymation episode where Stan's like, animators are just, fuck, I can't remember the line, but it was the one where he's shit talking, he's talking shit about.
It's like, those people are called animators.
yes, that one. I couldn't remember the line and I was dying. Thank you.
No, that was, I think that was the end of the line, but whatever.
Those people are called animators.
What about you, Claire?
Oh gosh, so many. Let me think about it. Jay, do you have one?
Yeah. Even though I said it earlier, I may as well say it again. Think. What's the number one problem with most monster hunts? If you're a side character, you die in the first 5 minutes. Dude, am I a side character? Does anybody think about this kind of thing?
I just thought of one. After the inconveniencing, Wendy's like, I'm gonna go home now and rethink everything about my life.
Oh,
Okay, I think I remember one.
Yeah, do that, then I got one last one.
Two from the Summerween episodes. One being, I've been traumatized! And the other one being, I ate someone alive today.
Oh, I ate a man alive tonight.
What about my ex-wife misses me, but her aim is getting better?
I actually did that for my Voice of Equestria audition.
See, it's funny because marriage is a terrible thing.
This show has so many great things, but yeah, apparently, I know we've been dragging this on, but whatever, but the last thing I want to mention is that Disney is not releasing a box set of Gravity Falls.
What?
They're actually not going to do it because they don't think it'll sell.
Well,
Oh yeah,
dumb.
sure.
Totally not.
That's have they even released any Gravity Falls DVDs?
I think they released one.
You know what? I'm looking that up right now. Hang on.
Look it up.
I'm
Gravity.
doing
Just saying.
it. Jeez.
Just saying. Disney. I've looked at some of their things with the merchandising of Gravity Falls has not been. When you look at it, you're wondering, this is not smart, because when they were first releasing Gravity Falls shirts, they got Zazzle to make them, and they were the grossest looking shirts. It was like they just stuck JPEGs on t-shirts and stuff, and like they did not look good.
There are 2 DVDs that I found so far.
Just 2.
Really much.
No, they should totally release a box set, but why they choose not to is still stupid to me.
Yeah, the only ones we've got here are called. Sorry, go ahead. You guys go ahead.
I'm just thinking that maybe those individual ones that he's talking or that Jay's talking about didn't sell or something, and they're just like, dude, no.
Sell those at conventions. They'll be gone by like the end of the first day.
It's like, why? It's that's just so stupid. Have they released the episodes on iTunes at least?
I think. Maybe not on Netflix either, but
I think they're on Amazon. But
because everyone uses Amazon.
Yeah. But as far as the DVDs go, I can only find 2, and that doesn't even cover the complete first season.
And I bet Disney parks don't do much with Gravity Falls, do they?
They haven't. Not that I know of.
They should realize.
I remember when we went to Disneyland,
if they
didn't have any.
With it, I'm going to go there right away.
I remember we went into downtown Disney one day, and they didn't have anything. Like, they had stuff from some of those stupid Disney sitcoms, and they didn't have Gravity Falls. And I'm like, you could at least have Dipper hats.
I was just walking around. With Key, Fox, and Bliss when we went to Pacific PonyCon, and I had my Dipper hat on, and there was a bunch of people that just said, "Hey, Dipper cap." I'm like, see, some people know it.
Yeah. But it's time for us to take our leave on the bus with our pet pig, Waddles.
Hey, Nikki.
Nikki.
Wait,
Nikki is our Waddles. Waddles for president.
Because Earth Pone?
Yes.
If they usually don't allow Nickies on the bus, but we'll let it slide this time.
This is discrimination.
And now we're
Do I finally get to play the race card? Oh, I've always wanted to.
So we're getting on the. We have to sit on our bus and leave.
With 3 Pegasuses, a unicorn, and a Nikki.
And
Wait,
a Nikki.
3. Oh, yes. Me.
Yes.
Definitely not hiding anything.
Yeah. So we're sitting on the bus and we are taking our leave now. But as they always say, we'll see you next roundtable. Like what I did there? Ha.
No, I just want to start blasting, like, when can I see you again from, like, Fast and Furious 7, just, like, to annoy the crap out of everybody. But, yeah, we will see you guys on the next roundtable. Actually, no, that next roundtable will be part of the Roundtable is Magic reviewing series, where we talk about Season 6 every week. And,
Be there, probably.
and I think that, yeah, that will come out, like, around Sunday or whatever, but... Anyway, those that are watching, thank you all for joining us on this. Thank you for people who in the Twitch chat who have been joining us. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and put your thoughts on Gravity Falls in the comments below. Please go and subscribe to Sweetie Bloom and Keyframe and Nikki V and J Fox.
Wait, seriously? I don't even do it. Okay.
Hang on, there's one person. There's still
Subscribe
one
to J
person that we
Fox's
really
non-existent
haven't.
channel.
There's still one person that we really haven't asked. That we really haven't talked about in this. What is it?
Who?
I'm out.
And just like that, Nikki is forever banned from being a part of Roundtable Reviews. You can kiss your spot goodbye. Get the fuck out of here.
Nikki, I respect you so much more now.
Yeah.
Okay, summer's over.